Well, as our Prime Minister, the most unpopular in history, of course, continues on a ludicrous number of foreign trips, flying all over the world, we have got serious, serious problems here at home. In fact, I fear our country is becoming more two-tier, literally month by month. Now, I want to give some context before I get into this. So let's just look here. When it comes to religious hate crime in England and Wales, it's Jewish people that now suffer the highest rate of religious hate crimes in the latest figures to March. And you can see here the equivalent to 106 crimes per 10,000 Jews, which is nearly 10 times higher than recorded religious hate crimes against people perceived to be Muslim, which was at 12 per 10,000. So 106 crimes per 10,000 Jews, 12 religious hate crimes per 10,000 Muslims. I think that's worth pointing out in terms of the state of bigotry in this country. Now, we of course saw recently the horrific Manchester terror attack at a synagogue. And yet, since then, we've seen Israeli fans banned from a football match in Birmingham, seemingly backed up by a complete load of nonsense. This report that false intelligence was used to secure a ban. For instance, the finding that Israelis were highly organised, skilled fighters with a serious desire and will to fight with police and opposing groups. Well, the Amsterdam police not recognising that claim that had been attributed to Dutch law enforcement when it comes to people being thrown into the river. Well, actually, the only case was being told he could leave the water on the condition he said free Palestine. And yet, since then, yesterday, we've seen this horrific incident, shameful scenes in London. And you can see the Met Police there saying they were made aware of plans for a pro-Palestine protest outside a synagogue, for goodness sake. Saying, we understand the group's decision to protest at this location will cause concern to some communities, but saying there is no legal mechanism to ban the protest from taking place. And so what was allowed to go on there yesterday was absolutely disgusting. And you've got to compare here the two-tier approach. Why is it then that recently there was a legal mechanism to stop a protest in Tower Hamlets? So the Met said that they intervened to prevent a protest from taking place in Tower Hamlets recently that was calling for mass deportations and had caused community concerns. They said the Public Order Act conditions imposed so that protest in Whitechapel couldn't take place or anywhere else in that borough. There's also, back in 2011, we saw an EDL march through Tower Hamlets banned by Theresa May as Home Secretary. Not just that, any marches in Tower Hamlets and 4 neighbouring boroughs were banned for the next 30 days. So to me, this is all yet another example of the two-tier country we now live in. There seems to be total double standards. You do get the impression the authorities in some areas have simply lost control. And so you're getting these absolutely ridiculous double standards and two-tier approach being applied. And it isn't just about slagging off the police. They've got a hard job, but we need real political leadership in this country. We saw Keir Starmer saying, for instance, that it was wrong that Israeli fans were banned from that football match, but he did nothing about it, and that ban went ahead. I think it is disgusting to see what Jewish people in this country are now having to put up with. Two-tier Britain is a real thing, and I'm afraid to say it is getting worse. It started with the Conservatives allowing weekly hate marches through London and doing absolutely nothing about it, while countries like France banned them very quickly. And it is going to need a government with a backbone to actually stop the decline of our country that we're seeing in this two-tier society. Please do let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.